Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Wa'arukar Kudash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, for teaching us the scriptures, among other things, and salutations to all Yakim across the earth for doing this work in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. So this is an article from the AD News that I stumbled upon. And basically I'm just going to read the article and then I'm going to go into some scriptures. Because this is all part of the agenda that Esau been pushing. And, don't forget, I mentioned it many times and I keep on saying it, but these Edomites here of Holland, they're very special. They're very special in wickedness, concerning wickedness, because they got a lot of blood on their hands. And, they're very wicked, man. They, the first country to do certain, they are the first country who was, where same-sex marriages was legal, possible and legal. So they started with that, and they were the first one who sent a slave ship from the west coast of Africa to America. They were the last one to stop with slavery. During the First World War, Amsterdam, the city of Amsterdam, capital city of Holland, they had a cocaine factory there, and they were selling cocaine to all the parties that were fighting against each other. To give the soldiers, cocaine, give them less fear and less hunger and stuff, So they were doing that. So, yeah, man. And in that time, they had parts of Indonesia as their colony, and they were growing the cocaine plants over there, the plants that they make cocaine from. They were growing it there. So, yeah, man, these Edomites here in Holland, they're very special concerning wickedness, man. They doing a lot of stuff, a lot of pedophilia going on, crazy sacrifices, and, they doing some shit. They doing some horrible shit over here. So they always want to be, so-called upfront concerning gender things. They've been pushing this, normally with soccer, they have, like the captain wears a band, which says respect, But now they want the ABC sodomite flag on it. And I think they even made it to one love or something, But, it's also respect, but they have a big sodomy flag on it, The rainbow with 6 colors, which a rainbow has 7. So that also shows you the wickedness. But, and if anyone don't want to wear it, they're talking about, freedom of opinion and this and that, and a lot of soccer players who are into Islam, they refuse to wear it. I remember it started with a French a player from France, dark skin, Jake, and he didn't want to wear the shirt with a flag on it, and now even a player from I forgot which team it was in Holland. I also did a video about that. Yeah, I think it was one of my previous videos. You can check it out. And how do you say that? So he didn't want to wear that band, he means like he want to wear the other one. So he stopped being a captain. And they want to talk about, we want everybody to feel comfortable and this and that, blah 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 blah, but he couldn't be a captain anymore because he didn't want to wear that sodomy flag. So that shows you the boginess, the stupidness, the filthiness, what they're doing. So let me just jump into the article. So it's from the AD News, which is a big news platform in Holland. They got newspapers and also websites. So as you see. So the title is "No More Good Morning Boys and Girls in Class According to a New Language Guide." An inclusive language guide should put an end to the use of undesirable terms about education, such as white and black schools, and to the use of distinctive languages in the classroom, such as boys and girls. So now that they're pushing the sodomy agenda, gender blender nonsense, So now it's racism is a big topic, you know. And don't forget, we've been ridiculed, you know, and it's part of the curses, you know. Deuteronomy chapter 28 uh, explains us that. Let me just read that real quick. Let's go straight to the point. So this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither Yahweh shall lead thee. So we've been ridiculed. They got songs, you know, 10 little niggers, 10 little Indians. Um, you know, they got all kinds of songs, you know, here in Holland, you know, on the kindergarten when I was a little kid. They had me singing in the classroom a song about Moriantje, which is about a little Moorish boy, and they saying he was so black as star, he was black as star, you know, and you know it was a real mocking song. So those were the things that they doing. They were celebrating blackface, you know, Satan Claus blackface holiday over here, you know, Black Pete. So they were doing that here. Now it's now they stopped with it, you know. Now they changed it up, but they were rioting against it. You know, they really wanted, and it was funny. Of yeah, funny. You know, these devils are very cunning. Like I said, these Dutch Edomites are very special. So they were wearing this. Black Pete was wearing a Moorish outfit. You know, and you know they got some stories. That story that they tell concerning Black Pete. You know, they got some stories entangled each other with each other, because back then the Moorish used to come here, and they also, you know, in Holland they call so-called black people, they call us neger, which also means to ignore, and also it also goes to an ignore, and also means, you know, like the old translation goes into water devil, because what our people used to do back in the days, we came on ships and basically grab female and children, and sell them, you know, have fun with the females, and even sell them to the Arabs, you know. That's what the Moorish people used to do back then. So that story, you know, the Black Pete story is about, you know, Black Pete is, if you are a bad child, then he's going to put you in the bag and bring you to Spain. And in Spain, that's where the Moorish used to have their capital, you know, back in the days. So yeah, you know, so you know, they mingle it with some stuff. But yeah, so like let me read that the scripture from Deuteronomy again. So this the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee. So when the you know, when our a lot of our people started to complain concerning the black Pete thing. So they started, you know, when as soon as Jake had the ball, you know, with the soccer game, then they start singing this Satan Claus songs, you know. So, you know, we've been, how you say that, yeah, we've been discriminated, you know. It's nothing new under the sun. They've been doing it, you know. I grew up here, you know. I was born here in Holland, so I know how these people, you know, from a little child, you know. These are little devils, you know. Since a child is already a devil, you know, you can see it. Now I understand it. Back then I didn't understand why they were so wicked, and why always, you know, you might think, you know, grow up as a kid, you think somebody is cool, and then sooner or later he will show his wickedness, you know, like the scripture in let me grab that in the book of Sirach said, you know, he will show his rust. Never trust thy enemy, and that's what it is. It's a bunch of devils, man. Let me see. So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 10, if I'm correct. Chapter 12. God, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So you will see iron, you know, it will rust eventually. So the same way with these devils, their wickedness will come out eventually, you know. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed, and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. And sooner or later they will show it. So, for example, like the neighbors of my mother. I grew up in the same house, of course, but and I always, actually, I always doubted those people. My mother was, so, yeah, you could say very close with the female. There's a couple, a male and a female. They're married, and after more than 40 years being neighbors, at a certain point, something happened, and then the wickedness came out. Like the scripture said, hey, sometimes it might take a long time, but sooner or later you're gonna see the wickedness of those people. And I always told my mother, like, yeah, don't be too founded on them, because yeah, and especially since I came in the truth, then to the most eyes opening your eyes, and you see things more for what they are. And I saw their wickedness, and they're a bunch of wicked people, man. Even their own children don't want nothing to do with them. And then you see that a lot with Edomites, you see that a lot. They have problem with their children. And of course, it also happened with Jake, but, with them, you see it a lot. So, yeah, but basically, that was the point. I don't want to go too much in that scripture. And, yeah, but that's it. They, I say that sooner or later you're gonna find out. So, but yeah, so they got an agenda, and they're pushing it to the max. Like I said, these Edomites from Holland, they are very special concerning that. They, like a month ago, a couple of weeks ago, they had the spring tickles, and they were, talking. They have children books concerning Transformers and stuff like that. So they've been doing a lot of wickedness. And now they're coming with this thing. You know. Let me see. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 64 and 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep. So, and they know they're talking in the young children, not children, yeah, children in general, but especially the young children, because they grow up. Don't forget the largest part of the day, the children are on school. Let's say school starts at 8:30, and average is like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then school's done. If the parents are working, then the child has to go to after school care. Let's say parents work until 5, then you pick up your kid, then it's time for dinner, then they can play a little bit, and it's bedtime. So all that, so Esau has all that time to poison your child's mind. And they're very clever with that. So they make you so busy that you don't have time to raise your child. Esau is raising your child, and making it all twisted. So let me see. Let me go back to the article. No more good morning, boys and girls in class, according to a new language guide. An exclusive language guide should put an end to the use of undesirable terms about education, such as white and black schools, and to use of distinctive languages in classrooms, such as boys and girls. De Landelijke Actiecomité Scholieren, LAX, will publish a list of language tips on Wednesday that are more appropriate to this time, because they promote equality of opportunity or no longer focus on gender. And that's the main thing, is the whole gender thing, talking about, yeah, equality and this and that. Fuck that, man. Y'all had years to basically give our people equality. But yeah, hey, we ain't going for equality, man. We are going to rule over you, man. That's what it's going to be. The scripture said, I'm gonna give you the heathens for thy heritage. So the children of Israel, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and the so-called Indianos, gonna own all the heathens, man. We're gonna be above. Israel's gonna be above all. As how it was meant to be. For example, it's no longer the intention to use the words disadvantageous pupil or disadvantageous school. They represent segregations and iniquity, inequality of opportunity. Also, the handicapped child in the class is really no longer possible. The Lux prefers to use pupil with a disability. Fucking assholes. Esau also likes to change words, man. Don't forget what they're doing in America. They want to make pedophiles. Yeah, they on the way to make a pedophile legal. Because how they call a pedophile nowadays, it's a MAP, a minor attractive person. So that's already softened the word, because when you hear pedophile, you already you basically go bring, you got all these alarms going off in your head, especially if you have children. Be like pedophile, hey, be alert. You don't want that somebody next to your children. But if somebody says, and if you don't know, yeah, and he'd be like, yeah, I'm a minor attractive person. You don't really understand what that person wants to say with that. So Esau likes to twist words and give things new names. For example, the word gay, it actually goes back to be happy, basically, and careless, yeah, to careless. If you listen old songs, they use that for being careless, basically. Just one of the meanings thereof, yeah. Mm, 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 mm. So let me see. Back to the article. Within the classroom, the advice mainly focus on eliminating gender differences. Man, these devils, man, they keep on pushing that bogusness, man. But the scriptures are very clear about it. I was saw a clip of Putin, and he been given speeches about that. That is male and female, man. Let me see. Let me go. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26. And the power said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So the powers created man in his own image. In the image of Yahweh created he him. Male and female created he them. And what's funny, I saw also a clip concerning a debate with, always females always want to push that transhumanism on nonsense. And this dude was like, okay, so if a person with a penis talking about he has a miscarriage, or he thinks he has a miscarriage, are you gonna, and he's calling the ambulance, are you gonna send the ambulance to the person because you think he might have a miscarriage? And basically female, and then she was talking, yeah, but also females, not all females can have can get pregnant, then they want to throw it on that. And he's like, yeah, okay, but somebody with a penis, born with a penis, is he able to be pregnant? And Esau is busy with that. They want to put uterus and in the male and stuff. Yeah, maybe they already done it. I don't know, but yeah, Esau is a mad scientist. Frankenstein. Always want to do concerning wickedness. But yeah, back to the article. For example, the Lux suggests to teachers to say good morning, students, or good morning, everyone, and not good morning, boys and girls. In that addition, they prefer to talk about that person instead of he, she. Yeah, like they, them. Get the fuck out of there, man. The suggestion to the teacher is also, if you do assignments in groups, do not divide the class based on gender. Fucking bullshit, man. Education Minister Wiersma still sees a lot of iniquity between inequality Equality between young people in practice video. Fucking bullshit. Furthermore, schools can work on a gender neutral designation on the school pass and the school administration, such as stating an X instead of M of male or V for female. In any case, the student or an organization wonders whether it is even necessary to register the gender of a student. Yeah, because we're all the same, right? Fucking nonsense, you know. And the Lux prefer to use gender exclusive terms when it comes to job titles. We prefer to speak of firefighters rather than firefighters, the guide said. Yeah, that's real different, yeah. Firefighters than firefighters. But the article is translated from the Dutch, so it's like a firefighter male and whatever. Then is a remarkable plea to abandon the quality mark excellent school since this currently government policy. However, the LUC states that this makes other schools less good in the eyes of certain people. Recently, a motion by D66 was also adopted in the House of Representatives asking for the abolition of the predicate. The government will respond to this shortly. With this language guide, the National Action Committee for Schools says it wants to contribute to a more inclusive school climate in which every pupil is equal. Fucking yeah, let's see when there's war how equal your females are to males, or you are they and them, gonna see how equal you are. And it's gonna be soon, sooner than you're hoping for. No list of forbidding words. The language guide of the Landelijke Actiecomité Scholieren is not a list of forbidding words, but a summary of tips for more inclusive language use in education and society. That say Lux board member Silas Kawesi 18 in an explanation. Language is used to give meaning to our thinking world, so words have consequences, emphasizes Kawesi. They can have negative effect on our worldview and cause us to exclude people. We must be aware of the prejudices that this can create in society. Yeah. So after how many years you want to talk about you exclude people? Funny, man. And don't forget, the Dutch are the ones that are behind the apartheid in South Africa, because apartheid, that's a Dutch word which means segregation. So okay, you know. So like I said, these Edomites, hey, they're special, man. They're special. And the language that they speak over there, that so-called Afrikaans, is all Dutch. So yeah, there you have it. So these people don't wanna make sure that nobody is gonna be excluded. Keep that in mind. Fucking devils. Education is a sector in which, especially in the field of gender, language use is already much more inclusive. According to the Lux board member, this guide is still necessary. Inequality of opportunities still exists, and we want to reduce it with this initiative. I also think that the issue is far from being properly regulated in all schools, otherwise, we wouldn't have to deal with the subjects. But a social, yeah, because they got this plan. But a social, this agenda that they got to keep. But a social discussion is already taking place in several places, fortunately. We must dare to talk about changing language use so that together we can achieve progressive insight. Yeah, talking about there are more than 300 genders. Get the fuck out of there, man. Kawesi is not afraid that Lux will be called woke because of this initiative, which has led to this language guide in collaboration with various organizations. We don't think that's a negative thing at all, especially if we can improve language use, oppositions. That's what we as a society have to deal with when changes are made. I am happy that this theme evokes emotions that we can and want to start a conversation about it. He opposed the idea of films and books from dictatorships in which obscure language is introduced to keep people in check. This is not a list of forbidden words, but a summary of tips for discussion. Discuss a language as a society. Nothing is obscured, but we recommend more precise words to raise things. We must dare to talk about changing language use so that together we can achieve progressive insight. And then you have a school in primary school, so school for little children, not older than 12 or 13 years old, starting from 3, basically, because when a child, before a child becomes 4 years old, he's already allowed to go to school. So they, like let's say a couple of days or a week before he turns 4, then they already send the child to school. The child is allowed to go to school, and by 5 it's mandatory to go to school here in Holland with 5 years. So they have a school in Nijmegen, city of Nijmegen here in Holland, and this school is completely gender neutral. So you can, you can see the thing. You can look it up for yourself, the school, and you can watch the video. I'm not gonna play it because then ISO is gonna, how you say that? Delete this video, remove it. So yeah, but yeah, that's the wickedness, man. So I'm gonna pull a couple of scriptures. Let me see. Do we got here? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Let me see. Let me see. But yeah, so Esau got these plans, and yeah, basically, let me see the book of. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. And profane goes into be out of the temple, so outside of the temple. So a filthy person, man. The book of Job states they were viler than the earth. Let me see. Book of Job, chapter 30. It's the book of Job, chapter 30. Chapter 30, verse 8, straight to the point. They were children of fools, yet children of base men, they were viler than the earth. Basically, let me just start from verse 1 so you can get the whole picture. So this is the book of Job, chapter 30, verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have to disdain to have set with the dogs of my flocks. Because don't forget, these people, they do a lot of filthy shit with animals also. They want to talk about all these nations, talking about they doing this and that with sheep and goats and whatever, and yeah. But they be doing that, they are famous for doing that, especially with dogs, man. They like to do stuff with dogs, man. You see how, just go, how many videos you have of females, that lay down with a dog, and the scriptures are very clear about that. Let me see, the book of Leviticus. Because it's filthiness, man. It's filthiness. Let me see, the book of Leviticus. Let me see. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 15. And if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and ye shall slay the beast. And if a woman approach unto any beast and lie down thereto, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast, they shall surely be put to death, the blood shall be upon them. Yeah. So the Bible is very clear about it. And don't go outside now running and be like, oh, I know this person that's laying down with a beast, or you saw a clip or whatever. No, man, because the scripture is also clear about that. Everything is, all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. We are living under the rules of this wicked person, of this foul beast. Like I read, this person who is viler than the earth. We living under his rules. So yeah, these are his laws. In this country, and they try to push their filthiness on other countries also. I did a video a while ago concerning how they want to push this sodomy. They want to force basically the people in Curacao to accept, to change the law that people of the same sex can marry there. Because in Curacao it states, like for example, Aruba said that people of the same sex, they are allowed to basically to live together officially, as being a love couple. But in Curacao is also forbidden, and also marriage also. So they want to basically force them to accept it, to change that law. So that shows you the wickedness, and they've been doing it all over the globe. In Uganda, they got this law, everything concerning sodomy is forbidden, which is very beautiful. And they want to push that, they will basically want to force them to take that law back, and otherwise they're going to do some stuff, especially America been bullying all over the world, but countries are getting sick and tired. South Africa said Putin was welcome there, and don't get me wrong, Putin is the devil too. But these are signs of the end, because they are dividing amongst each other, so they're fighting with each other, and that's very beautiful to see. So you see people picking sides. Yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished? For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth among men, they cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valley, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yet children of base men, they were viler than the earth. So yeah, that's them. That's them. And let me see. This is the book of Isaiah, because it's all about that agenda they be pushing. And yeah, they pushing it to the max. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 9. They show off their countenance, thus witness against him, and they declare the sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have reward evil unto themselves. Yeah, don't think, the scripture said the wicked shall not go unpunished. So the Most High is gonna get them for that, in due time. Matter of fact, let me see. He can only go so far. He's busy with the MOTB. Busy to planning to make I said it, to make the banks crash. So let me see. This is the book of Job, chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So the Most High is in control of everything. Isaiah 45 also explains that. Matter of fact, let me grab it real quick. The Most High is in control, man. Read the book of Job, chapter 1 and 2. It shows you that the Most High is in control, man. It's not Satan fighting against the Most High. No, that's bullshit, man. That's what they teach you in church, this Christianity bogusness. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So yeah. You know, so the Most High is in control of everything. And let me see. I was thinking about another scripture. Oh yeah, I think that's a very beautiful scripture to basically end it with. Let me see. So this is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of the hand. Yeah, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So they're in rulership now. So it's all wickedness, you know. Matter of fact, was it Jeremiah? Another scripture popped to my head. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 13, verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. So the Most High have created Esau to be evil, you know. You cannot do good. Sooner or later, like I said, you know, like the book of Sirach said, you know, you will see that the rust is still there. Sooner or later, his wickedness will come out, you know, because he's created to be a wicked piece of shit. That's what it is. Salakia. So yeah, man, I'm gonna leave it like that. So yeah, with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Wa'aruka Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us the scriptures, among other things, and salutation to all Akim across the earth for doing this work in sincerity and in truth. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom.